Last year my van had this problem.
To try and fix the smoking issue, I actually fitted some forged boost pipes and this little blanking plate for the EGR.
The problem is, after doing both those things, I don't know which one fixed it, but the van no longer smokes at all. However, while stopping the van from smoking, I have caused myself a new issue.
Well, unsurprisingly, blanking the EGR off did throw up an engine light, and this engine light has plagued me for the last 9 months.
And so this has obviously left me with a little bit of a dilemma. So my options seem to be I can revert it back to how it was running badly by taking that EGR plate out and have it smoke again and have no power, or I can get the van remapped to remove the EGR altogether. But it seems like quite a lot of money considering I'm not asking for much. And now 9 months later, I realise there's a third option, and it's one of these bad boys. I bought this from eBay for £12. It is a MPPS V16. I got it second hand. It came with nothing other than this here. So like an OBD plug on one side and a USB-B, I think that is. Anyway, I found an old cable that I know fits with a USB-B on one end, USB-A on the other. And then I used this very old laptop. Very old and slow.
Now, what you need to know about the MPPS V16 is that it only works on EDC15 and EDC16 ECUs. Now, the Transporter T5 1.9 is an EDC16 ECU, so you can use it on this van. However, if you're planning on doing this on maybe a T5.1 or T6, T6.1, you're going to have to look at other options, which, to be honest, I haven't researched, so I can't tell you about.
Now, first things first, you need some software. First of all, you need to run Windows XP because the software for this MPPS V16 is so old now that it doesn't actually work on Windows 10. And once you've done that, you need the native MPPS V16 software, which I can't remember what it's called. I think I found a YouTube video or someone was loading it up and showing you how to load it. But it loads up in this really weird way. You've got a loader exe file and you drop it into I don't know, but it works.
So here is the MPPS software. It's fairly basic. It gives you some drop downs and you can choose the vehicle and choose the right ECU. You've got an ECU ID, which kind of helps. And then at the bottom left there, you've got volts. Now, that needs to be kept an eye on at all times.
Now, I need to stress something quite important here. I don't advise you try this yourself. There are massive risks involved in doing this. You could brick the ECU, or maybe even if you do get to the point where the ECU reads your file and you've done something wrong with your file, you could brick the engine. Now, I've done a ton of research. I've watched so many YouTube videos. I've been on so many forums trying to gain as much information on this before I start as I can. Now, the first thing you need to do is to make sure everything is plugged into the mains because you do not want to lose power at any point with anything midway through. So not only have I got my battery hooked up to a battery charger, which is plugged in to this extension lead, also the laptop itself is plugged in to the mains as well. And essentially just hope and pray that you don't get a power cut from your house midway through doing this. I guess that's the risk. Now, the risk on reading the data is far less than writing because when you're reading, you're just pulling information from the ECU, you're not actually changing any settings. But that's where we need to start. We need to start by reading the ECU. So I'm sorry, I can't screen record this because it's not fast enough to screen record and do anything else. But hopefully you can sort of see what I'm doing. There's a read ECU or read button there. I'm just going to give that a click. And then we're going to sit back and wait probably for about 5 minutes or so, and it should have read all the information it needs off the ECU. And there we go. File is finished. It's finished downloading from the ECU. It's giving me a little file name there. Obviously, I've done this before to make sure everything works. I've given my number plate and I've just called it original. And I've saved that file and it's not going anywhere. So I always have an original file from this ECU. I don't need to save this. I've already done it once before, but just to show you how it's done. And it only took 3 minutes and 52 seconds. Not bad. I've never done a write before, so We can do that in this video and we'll find out how it goes together. Now, once you've saved your file, it comes up with this. You need to switch the key off. Now that my key is off, I'm going to click continue on here. And it gives a little 5-second countdown. And it's done. Now that the ECU is read, I'm not going to bother messing around on this computer anymore because it's so slow. I literally use it just to put XP on it. I don't have another Windows laptop I can use. So instead, I'm just going to put that file on a USB stick and take it indoors where I can use it on something a bit faster. Right, now I've got my little USB stick with the file on it. I'm just going to plug that into my laptop and we're going to go from there. So once you've got your file back onto your computer, whatever one you're going to edit on, I've uploaded it to this EDC Master HP website. Now, this website gives you 3 months free editing on your maps. So you just make an account, sign up, and then you can upload your own file right here. Choose file. Right, I've already uploaded mine. So let's have a look at that. So here's my file all loaded up. As you can see, I've done 0 changes so far. I file named it the EGR delete because that's what we're going to try and do today. Now, in my research, a lot of times people tell you that you open up your EGR values, you select the maximum, and then you copy that across the entire board. I'm not going to do that because I have read that the EDC 16 ECU doesn't like it, and you'll actually still get an engine light because of it. Instead, what you want to do is you want to change your EGR hysteresis, that word. That's what you want to change. Now there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them, and as far as I remember, only some of them actually do anything. So I'm flicking through them. I'm pretty sure that this top one doesn't need to be edited in any way. It just appears to have a rolling scale, and that is to do with injection quantity. Meanwhile, these ones, as you can see, these values mean nothing. That's the same value from regardless of what we're looking at. However, this one gives us different values depending on the math. Now, as I understand, what you need to do here is you need to select all of these all the way along, and you're going to insert 0. You make sure you save your changes, and then you want to also make sure you do this for the other one that has any values in it. So once again, this is the EGR hysteresis number 5, and we're going to insert 0 into all of those. So I've changed the files, I've saved my files, I've put them on a USB stick, I'm about to put them in the van. Time for the most nerve-wracking bit of this whole process. So I'm just going to copy this file from the memory card onto my desktop. I don't know if this will make a difference. I just feel funny about transferring the file directly from the USB stick into the ECU. I'd rather it be saved onto the computer itself. So I'm going to do that first, and then I'll get back into the software and we'll write. So I'm a bit scared of this. Okay, here goes. I'm absolutely bricking this. Right, desktop. That's the file there. EGR delete, and then of course my number plate. So let's open this up and begin the write. Here we go. Right, we're still going. I don't even want to be in the van right now. I don't want to accidentally knock a wire in it, lose connection, and just dead the ECU. So I'm going to stay out of it, and I'm going to let it do its thing. Right, it says it's done. It says it took 6 minutes. I don't know if you can see that from here. It says it took 6 minutes and 18 seconds. So first thing we've got to do is we've got to switch the key off. And there we go. Hopefully that has just fixed the engine light forever. And when I say forever, you know that I mean until something else goes wrong. It's a Volkswagen after all. So I guess all that's left to do really is to unplug all the chargers and take the laptop out and everything, and start the engine, and then see if I've still got the engine light coming on. All right then, guys. Well, here goes. It starts. That's a good thing. And of course, with just like all of my other videos, it started to rain. So I guess we'll pick this up tomorrow, hopefully when it's not raining. I'll see you tomorrow. Good morning. It's still raining, so let's just jump in the van and I'll show you the results. So I drove the van around a little bit yesterday, and then I drove it around again this morning. I've started it maybe 7 or 8 times now. Now I know that an engine light usually comes on after the engine's been started with a fault 3 times. So we're at 7, 8 times now. Still no engine light. So I'm just gonna start her up now, just to prove to you that there's no engine light on my dash anymore. It's so nice. It's plagued me for 9 months. It's so nice not to have that little yellow light on my dash anymore. And just to be double sure, I'm gonna plug my little Carista thing in and check the codes, make sure nothing comes up. And sure enough, no mil activated. If you can see that on my phone, there's no engine light, no warnings, nothing. So fantastic news. We're good to go. So fingers crossed that's fixed the issue from now on. Now, as for cost of doing this, I don't know what it costs to get it done at a centre, a remap centre. I'm assuming probably like 150, 200 quid. That's the kind of prices I think I've seen previously. For me, I already had a laptop. I downloaded XP for free. I got the MPPS V16 software for free. I already had the cable that I needed. So the only thing I've spent is £12. So I'm pretty happy with that. So the other thing is this has unlocked potential for me to do other things with the ECU as well. Maybe increase boost. But that's for another video, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it was informative. If you've got any questions, please let me know in the comments down below. If this has helped you in any way, please leave a thumbs up. And of course, hopefully you subscribe. Thanks. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.